Okay, so we have the chess elephant versus the chess panda here. First game of UCLA A versus UCSD A. Very exciting chess animals facing off. This is round one. I'm trying to follow the players. Not all of them yet are in live chess, so this is the only one that started. So chess elephant, he is the board 2 for UCLA. Chess panda, this is Brian Sheldon from UC San Diego. They're board 3. These two teams are both in Division 1. UC San Diego with a narrow loss last week, I believe, to UT Austin. And UCLA off their win against Caltech. So UC San Diego still looking for their first match win. UCLA looking to expand, go 2 for 2. Still trying to follow the other players. Whoops. All right, so it looks like the other games have also started, which is good. What's up, Tice? Hope you had a good stream yesterday. Okay, so knight's coming in here. Can we play this? This is what's immediately coming to mind. We might see the queen come over. No, not here, as it's controlled by the bishop. But yeah, pawn here, queen here, pins the pawn to the king, so you can't just win this piece. But then you can go here with a pin. So yeah, this is a very interesting decision. And now Hiron here, this is UCLA's board 3 against UC San Diego's board 2, has to decide if they want to go for b4, queen b6, and bishop e4. So that's what white's going for. Maybe there's d4 in their potential rook exchange. Yep, bishop e3, pins the knight to the queen. So will we see d4? d4, bishop takes, we might see rook takes. No, a5, a3. Very strong. You could do C takes, undoubling your pawns. Nick, if that was from anyone else. Sorry, I'm distracted right now. I'm looking at something here. It's hard. I have to stream and I also have to like manage all these pairings. It's Jules. Hello. How's it going? All right. Okay, let me try to focus on this chess here. So yeah, Hiron won a piece, right? Now he's up he's up a rook. He's up an exchange. Okay, so white takes here. Can we play here? Is that a thing? I am also tired, but that's okay. Yep, so queen b3, bishop d2 check, king to b1, queen takes, pawn takes, knight fork. So you have to give up the exchange here, would be my guess. That, or you play here, knight takes, and rook here. Trying to win this piece back. We could see bishop here. I think you give the exchange back. You just take this. Okay, he goes king c2, knight takes on e2. Rook d1, bishop a5, defending the rook. Rook trade, bishop takes, king here maybe, knight gets here. So maybe you need rook g4 actually. Rook g4, and the knight's trapped. Ah, he lets the knight get away. So now, okay, rook g4 now, knight to f5. Rook g6, attacking the pawns. You can't defend this one. So it's a rook versus two pieces. There goes this pawn. It liked g4. So g4 now. Knight back, king up, maybe. Rook here. King and rook. You don't want to get forked by the knight. Pinning the knight. This knight is boxing the king out. Both players very low on the clock. Okay, so Hiron had something there, but he missed rook g4, trapping the knight. And now he actually might lose this. You cannot take this pawn as that's a fork, so the king steps aside. You can see a bishop check. No, saving the pawn. So yeah, the two pieces favor black. There's a bishop check, king over. Bishop back. Attacking the pawn. Attacking the knight. Knight attacking the pawn again. It's going to be hard to hold on to this after king gets here. Check, king here. Attacking the knight, but knight takes the pawn. Yeah, black should be able to win this. That's unfortunate for Hiron here, who had a good position. Only 3 seconds now. Here, let's look at Chess Elephant, Chess Panda. So, looks like Chess Elephant is up a piece. No time, though. 7 seconds. 5 seconds. So Chess Elephant trying to trade off that last bishop. Attacking that bishop still. Are we going to push h4? No, just bishop h4. Bishop back. We're going to go after this pawn now. Bishop here, bishop here. King over first. Pawn push. You can't take because you lose your knight. Pushing through, giving up the knight. Oh my goodness. That was a big mistake from Chess Elephant and time pressure. Gives up the knight. And now he's going to lose. What a swing. I thought for sure Chess Elephant was going to convert this. So how does white advance these pawns? Ooh, okay, so Hiron and K-Web both lose their games. So UCSD to a strong start with their top 2 boards getting wins. Now it's down to UCLA's top 2 boards. And it doesn't look good for Chess Elephant. Chess Panda, this is UC San Diego's 3rd board. This would be an upset. And Chess Elephant, no way he can win. So hoping for a draw. You got to keep the bishop on. This bishop's going to come here. Yeah, controlling this diagonal. So now you have to go here, but then push, and there's no stopping. So you trade off, it resigns. All right, so now it's down to our board 1 versus their board 4. So UC San Diego's top 3 boards getting a win. Off to a strong start. Going for the sweep now if they can beat Gabe. This is UCLA's top board this week. Gabe, only a minute 17 now. Low on the clock. Jay Imagine, UC San Diego's board 4. Jason Ma with quite the time advantage. Gabe pushing through in the center with D5. We have opposite side castles game, so white is going to try to attack on the king side. Might even start with the move G5 right now, kicking the knight away. No, going in, attacking the rook. So knight B6, probably we'll see rook to B8, threatening to take the knight on B6, getting 2 pieces for the rook. So then maybe we'll see knight takes C8, which is a little interesting. Okay, so the knight is there to support taking on D5. So now we can take on D5. Knight takes, queen takes. So we take with the knight. Yep, we'll see knight takes back. E takes D5. Will we see queen takes? Bishop here, maybe. Rook to D8, looking for a rook trade. Queen E4. We trade rooks. King takes now. This is a little awkward. Usually the king wants to go towards the corner, not towards the center. So developing the bishop, getting the rook ready for a check, getting the king back. Also threatening to take the knight, perhaps doubling the pawns. So bishop develops. This is a threat on H7. So how do we defend? Probably going to push G6. G6 played. Is white going to try to open up the H file, perhaps? To move like H4, H5. No. Knight D4. Trying to get this bishop onto this long diagonal. Also trying to attack the bishop and win a pawn with check. So the knight takes, and now this bishop is very powerful. We can grab this, perhaps, and get our bishop trapped. This pawn is also hanging, but then this bishop will be under pressure. A move like this would win a piece. So king to c1, getting away from the rook. Getting back towards the edge of the board. Queen to a5, very aggressive. Looking at a3. I like this move. So if the king tries to defend, well, there's two pieces here. If you push, we take. If you push here, we take. So how do you defend this? Oh, queen up. Offering queen trade. And only now bishop takes, but now can we play b3? b3 and now, oh, sacrificing here. Very nice. Pawn takes, rook takes. Good tactic from Gabe. So pawn takes here. Now this pawn's under threat. Rook defends. Rook now. Oh, okay, the bishop's defending the rook. And the bishop's defending the check as well. So we're kicking the bishop back. Pushing through here. c4. So this is a passed pawn. Rook, or the king, stepping in, attacking the pawn. Rook check, grabbing this pawn. King over, king up. Pushing the passed c pawn for white. So even material, but white has the passed pawn. Both sides with the bishop pair and a rook. Pushing the pawn again. Rook over. Rook attacking the pawn. Bishop defending. Bishop attacking with a fork. Hard to defend everything for white now. If you go here, there's this. So defending the f-pawn. Bishop takes. Oh, bishop here. Rook here is not possible. So white stepping into a pin, thinking they could get away with a check, but no. This should be losing a piece. Maybe the whole house. Yep, resigns. All right, so Gabe avoiding the sweep for UCLA, getting the win, but a hard-fought win. UC San Diego looking good after round one. Let's tune in. This is UC San Diego's board 1. This is Richard, National Master against our board 3, Hiron, Candidate Master. Oh, this is a little dangerous. So the bishop is pinned to the rook, or the knight by the rook. So if the bishop ever moves, we have rook takes, the threat of mate actually next. So okay, queen comes off this diagonal. So strong bishop pair from black here. This knight is very passive, but can come up. I guess bishop is stopping that. Okay, b4. Not entirely sure what this is. It's not threatening this, so black's going to continue with their plan. Yeah, a4. Trying to attack the bishop. B5. Bishop D5. So doubled rooks. White now has the open C file, but not a lot of good entrance points. These bishops are controlling a lot of the C file. So black keeping the rooks on the E file, white looking to double on the C file. Two minutes each side. Pretty even. Richard is up a pawn of material, but black definitely has the more active pieces. Launching the F pawn now, going for F4. This bishop with no retreating moves. This bishop, a good blockader. White trying to trade off queens now. So we'll probably deny that and play queen back is my guess. Oh, if you trade off queens, there's a skewer here. That must have been missed by Hiron. So now the knight comes up. Can we push through? And then we have to have something good here. I think F4 just wins. That's my my gut instinct is telling me that. F4, opening up the E file or winning a piece. That looks nasty. Yeah, just F4. F4, if the bishop retreats, you could even just take the knight. Because if queen takes, then... Oh, well, your pawn is blocking the bishop. But I was thinking, instead of taking the knight, you have rook e1. And if queen takes, well, then rook takes queen. If you have knight takes, then you have rook takes knight with check, removing the defender of g2. So the bishop does step back, guarding e1. So now what's the play? Oh, the queen is overloaded. Ah, so this is threatening bishop takes, but bishop takes, queen takes, and you had queen takes here. So some tactics are being missed by both sides, but black is still getting really good chances. We might see something like rook sacrifice on f2, queen g3. I don't know if that's any good at all, but the biggest threat is just taking here. Wow, rook c8. What a find from Richard. Giving up the c8 rook to take on e2. And if you take on f3 now, rook takes e8 check. Maybe you have queen takes. I mean, this still has to be good for black, but this move seems to be like the best defense so far. I don't know if white had anything else, but black has no time, less than 10 seconds. Has to make a move. I would take on f3. Yep, rook takes and then queen takes. Two seconds, 1 second. King move. Threatening the mate. Attacking the rook. There's a queen check to pick up the bishop. You take here. And then, you know. What is going on? Only 3 seconds for Hiron. Queen check. King takes rook. Queen takes bishop. Queen in. Going for a trade. There's a check here. Does white keep going? Trades. So now Richard's still up the same material. This pawn is hit. Trying to get the rooks off. Simplifying. So white is just up this central D pawn. So the king is blockading on a light square. It's going to be hard for the bishop to kick the king out. 7 seconds. Both players very low on the clock. Anything could happen. Obviously, white slightly favored. Bishop forced to defend the pawn. White has all their pawns on light squares except their passed D pawn, and that is their biggest liability. So this bishop has to defend. This pawn is black's biggest liability, so black has to defend this. Both sides don't want pawns on dark squares. So these pawns staying on the light squares, not pushing up to protect. These pawns staying on light squares. 2 seconds, 1 second. Richard now, only 3 seconds. Hiron just trying to get a draw out of this. White pushing through. Black holding still. Okay, taking a6 now, putting pawns on light squares. Bishop here. Now the king's gonna... Well, it's really difficult to make progress. I'm pretty sure this is just a draw. Let me look at Kyle Webster here. This is the 4th board from UCLA. Filling in for Julian Landau, who wasn't able to make it. So black trying to promote this pawn. Is black winning this? He's got a queen now. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. He's got the queen. King takes, and now he's going to have to stop this pawn. Can he do it? Can he do it? Is it a draw? I think it's just a draw. Pins the pawn. King here. Check, promote, and game over. So that is a draw. Our 4th board getting a point out of Shannon here. This is UC San Diego's board 2, so we'll take that. What's going on here? Wow, so a lot of trades have happened. White's still up the passed pawn, but it's just a different passed pawn. So let's put these points on the board. 0.5 and 1.5. Two seconds. 1 second. Richard living off the increment. Hiron bringing the king up, attacking this pawn. Bishop here, blocking the king, but we'll see bishop here, trying to kick this king away. King steps back. I would step back up. And they repeat. Okay, so that's a draw. Here we've got Gabe against the Chess Panda. So Hiron getting a draw out of, I believe that was Richard, right? Yeah. Okay, so our bottom 2 boards get a draw each out of UC San Diego's top 2 boards. So now UCLA's top 2 boards are going to try to get their points back from the first round and see if they can try to even things up here before going into the second half. Okay, Gabe playing f4, locking these pawns. King up, activating. Rook up, rook over. Does that drop this? I mean, that looked like a free pawn. I'm not sure. But now the rook comes over, doubling on the d file, and now we have g3, saving our pawn. e5 from black, very interesting. So the doubled rooks pin this bishop, so we couldn't take this knight. Now we get off the d file. Now we are threatening the knight. Knight back, attacking the bishop. Bishop back. Controlling d2, not letting the rooks in. Rook attacking the bishop. Bishop here, attacking the rook, so you can trade off a pair. You have a bishop versus a knight in game, equal pawns. Okay, both sides with about 20 seconds. Active king for white. Knight hops back. So black is going to try to play on the light colored squares opposite this bishop. Yep, moving the pawns to light squares. b4 was played to prevent the knight from coming into c5. So literally every piece that black has is on a light square. This bishop is going to be on defensive duty. Knight here is going to be annoying. So going for activity, going for a4, I like this a lot. Pawn takes, king takes. So trading off this weakness. Now king comes in, and that pawn's a goner. So okay, knight back defends momentarily, but now bishop here. And if the knight goes here, that's going to be very passive. So knight goes here, gives up the pawn. We've got two pass pawns. The king and black are going to try to make a pass pawn on the king side. But this pawn is fast, and you're going to have to stop that somehow. Look at this bishop boxing out the knight entirely. So, yeah, this knight is being overworked. We have king here. And then we're going to bring the second pawn in. This is over for the chess panda. Yep, king getting in the right square. That pawn is promoting. Can't stop it. Well done by Gabe, getting a point. Oh, and Chess Elephant beat his player as well. So it's all tied up after a strong start from UC San Diego. UCLA ties it right back up. So here we go. Jay Imagine, UC San Diego's bottom board against Hiren, UCLA's third board. So this is the start of the third round. Okay. Hiren castling kingside, king Keto. White playing c3, closing down the long diagonal, saving b2. White yet to castle, both sides of the bishop pair. Black developing the last piece, getting the rooks connected. White still has a little bit of development work to do. Probably bishop here to castle kingside. You don't really want to castle queenside. Even if you get the rook and your queen lined up together, it's not going to be worth it. This bishop's going to be way too strong. So we do see bishop e2. If you go to d3, there's going to be a rook landing on the d file, pinning that bishop to the queen. So white just trying to castle short. We might see a rook go to the d file anyways. Yep, rook f to d8, hitting the queen. Queen steps back. Rook lift, going to double on the d file. White expanding on the queen side, a4. I want to see some pressure on these bishops. I'm thinking like queen e6 ties the queen down, so there's no possibility of rook to d1. You would see the trade twice, and then queen takes. So white clamping down on this pawn structure with a5. Bishop here is going to be annoying, taking away d8, undoubling these rooks. So how to make progress here from black. Something like this will pin the bishop. So even if bishop here, you take this bishop. You get both bishops for a rook. Okay, trying to trade off the light square bishop. Rook takes. Little pressure on this. Lifting the rook also creates space for the rook to go up instead of over. Okay, so the rook goes to d5. And this little f3 weakness can come back to haunt white. We might see some activity with the rook now. Although e7 is hanging, this bishop does a good job of preventing checks along the diagonal. So black might go after this base point to break through on c3 so that we can trade off bishops. I don't know if black wants to do that though, as this is a very valuable bishop. Okay, rook e5 hitting the queen. So the queen can go out on this diagonal, or it can go back to where they were originally. No, lined up with the queen here. So now you want to get the rooks on the second somehow. So maybe a move like queen over, looking at this, and then this. Looks aggressive. So thinking a move like this, maybe. No, doubling the rooks back. So going to try to come here. Not moving the queen, but going with the rook instead. Rook here, attacking e7 again. Will we see e6? Nope. Bishop to f6, defending like this, also creating a spot for the king to push up. Okay, h5, launching the h-pawn. So rook e2 is important, blocking the rook out of d2. So black is doubled up on the d file now, or tripled up. This is a tight match going into halftime. This will start around 3. Tied up at 4. These are two very closely matched teams. Even on the clock here. Queen g3. There's queen b8 check possibilities. Black can try to enter along the first or second rank as nice as these rooks look, you got to use them. And white is able to trade off if they want. I think white will just simply hold, not trading, inviting another rook into the position. We might see something like interesting, like rook d1 and then rook from the 5th rank to d2. And then we'd have a rook cube. h4 maybe? h4 is a little committal. Oh, maybe h4 from black, though, would make sense. So the queen's coming in. I'm not sure what her plan is, but maybe we'll see like bishop g5. No, rook here attacking the queen, breaking our trifecta along the d file. So where does the queen go now? Queen can go back to where she was. Nope, instead going central, e4. Hiron now, only about a minute on his clock. Rook back to e5. Perhaps trading off rooks. I think that's what black is going for. Trade off a pair of rooks. Queen here, or rook check. So expecting this fully now. Rook takes, rook d1. So black is infiltrating. This king is a little awkward. This is not a check, so the queen covers. Okay. Hiron, less than 30 seconds. Rook in, the queen wants to come to d1 and give some checks. Bishop back here, I don't know if I like that. That blocks the king's escape. Queen d1 now is like a no-brainer. Yep, queen d1, threatening mate on the spot. The king can run right now, but is there a better flight square for this king? It's looking tough. It's hard to play a move like this, but it's been played anyways. Queen check. You can never retreat. The king has to go deeper into the position. You want to centralize your king in the endgame, but this is still a dangerous board with the queens on a rook each player has. Oh, rook d4 is a big threat. Rook d4 and this pawn is pinned, but from behind. This queen is hanging. f4 is played. Is rook d4 going to be played? Rook d4 is nasty. Okay, rook d4 not played. Queen check. Rook check. Rook block. Queen check. Queen e2. Queen check. Queen block. You repeat. You only have 6 seconds. He repeats. Rook takes. Bishop takes. Queen check. Queen block. Queen check. Queen block. Queen to b3. Queen e6. Trying to get a bishop trade. White has survived the storm and is trying to simplify down now. This pawn is hanging. Queen's attacking this. No, it's defended. Doubling these pawns. This king is very safe. These pawns are pushing, trying to break through. That's a gambit. So now we've got double pawns. Queen trying to scoop in. King is defending these guys. We could have taken this. Now queen's going for a trade. Queen check, queen block. Again. Only 10 seconds. Queen here. Queen just trying to block it. King moves out of this check now. Okay, coming back. Queen check. King all the way back. Queen now attacking this. Queen takes on b7. King takes with check. Queen check. That's defended. Queen check. Queen check here. No, check here and then take this. Okay. I guess not. I felt like that was pretty good. King up. Queen check. Here. They just take the draw. So Hiron getting a draw out of J Imagine. Okay, what a crazy game there. Okay, 2 games left in this round. This is Kyle Webster. Oh, and he, just as we tuned in, loses that game. So that's a big point for UC San Diego. Hiron up to 1 point now. J Imagine gets his first points on the board. Richard down to his last 5 seconds. Chess Panda now 2 out of 3. So UC San Diego with that point takes the lead again. What is going on with this game here? Did I miss a point? Did Gabe get another win? Is Gabe flawless? I think Gabe is flawless. Gabe is just perfect. I think he's tied it up. He took down UC San Diego's board 2 there. So we're all tied up. If this game is a draw, then they're even going to the 4th round. But it looks like Richard is up a pawn here. It is opposite color bishops, which is very intriguing. So the king steps here to meet the king here. And now black is in zugzwang. Pawn to, oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow. Chess Elephant getting the zugzwang of his life to take the lead here. Holy smokes. King here. King c8. King here. And now king d7. And now everything is locked. Everything is locked except for these 2 pawns. So bishop here. Pawn push. Bishop takes. Pawn push. Bishop takes. And the king has to separate. The bishop is lost, and the game is won. What technique there from Chess Elephant. Improving to 2 out of 3 and taking the lead. UCLA's first lead of the match. Initially down 3-1. Now up 6.5 to 5.5. This is the start of round 4. Kyle Webster here from UCLA, only with the draw so far. Now up against UC San Diego's 4th board, who also only has a draw so far. So both of these players looking to get their first full point of the match, which could be crucial to their team's victory. Yep, this is Jason Ma from UC San Diego. With the black pieces, developing the bishop. There's a check. You kind of have to take that. Bishop takes, and then that king's going to struggle to castle. So maybe you just move the king right now. This knight is hanging. We can always take this, but then take this, and the knight might be trapped. No, I mean, we do have control over d6, but it's a little awkward. So the king steps up. We could take with check. No, bring the other knight in now. So this knight is blocking a6, dislodging this. Now the knight's attacking the bishop, which makes a lot of sense, actually. This is a little interesting from white. So there's this, but then there's that. And then you take that with check. And then you save your bishop. So, I mean, the knight is kind of in a tough spot, but you can always cash out with check. Taking a piece. So you're not losing the knight. So Kyle in a bit of a thinking tank here. All the games in round 4 are underway. It all comes down to this. UCLA with 1 point lead. Can they hold on? They need 2 points out of 4 to win the match. UC San Diego needs 3 out of the 4. They need 2.5 to draw and force OT. So this is going to be a tight match. Okay, bishop to e5. I don't think I like that. Well, there's still f6. We can still cash out and then go this way. But then, you know, after rook here, our bishop on c4 is hanging. Perhaps we had the same issue if we had gone this way. I don't know. Or maybe we have like bishop here in some lines. So knight takes with check, rook takes. And now maybe this. Oh, bishop back, and now we're going to lose this pawn. With check. Rook takes on c4. That's what I'm looking at. Does black go for it? Yes, they do. Taking on f2. Rook takes on c4. So now black is up a pawn. Neither side having castled. Knight takes a pawn. But this knight... Well, both knights are kind of sidelined. You'd see this knight getting activated. This knight as well. Yeah, the rook is into the game. We could go here, which makes sense. No, going here instead, opposite the king. Very interesting. Knight c5. Could play knight b5. There's this check you have to worry about. Knight here defends this. King stepping up into the attack. I don't know if the knight was ever trapped because you could always play a4. And the knight will come to b5. Also, you'd have to be watching out for rook b4 at some lines. The knight was covering this. Or bishop b4 would come with the skewer. Anyways, king's in check. King steps aside. So the king is a little precarious here for team white. There's another check if you need it. So both sides with 2 minutes. Jason Ma a little more time than his opponent. He's thinking here. White has a 3-on-1 majority, which is nice. But still a lot of pieces on the board, and this king, very awkward. Okay, rook h4, just going after that h-pawn. So how do you defend it? You going to push here? That allows the knight to come in to a lot of squares, like knight f4, hitting this pawn now Lining up this check as well. Yeah, that is a fork, but you lose this with the pen. You also can just get checked either which way. So king steps over. Again, this is not a threat as that hangs this. Knight e6 now. Maybe rook to d1 would make sense to me. Get that last piece into the game. The only piece that white hasn't moved yet. Yep, that's what he goes for. Trying to trade off the d-file rooks. Rook check. Maybe king e1. King e3. No, king to g3. Now there's another check here. Yeah, and now king h2. This is pretty much the only move. King h2 now. This king has done a lot of travels. Rook takes, rook takes. If you have knight takes, you have knight takes. He had that pre-moved. Rook here attacking this pawn. So that's going to be very awkward to defend. You can give a check and play back here. Yep. So king back. Knight here defending. Could have rook e2 attacking the knight. We got a rook here. Rook here. Knight here attacking the rook. Could also have rook check first, but that might help out black. So here and now this. Okay, attacking. Well, the knight's defending this, so it's mostly just hitting the rook. Now the rook can move. Okay, goes to b3, attacking the pawn with check. The knight is well placed here, defending this. So we might see this, this, and that. Maybe. I'm thinking... Okay, king goes back to g1. Going for f1. Attacking the rook. So now this is a big threat. So white was under a lot of pressure. Only 45 seconds. Jay Imagine with over a minute. But in a tight spot, where does the rook go? You go rook d2. Rook d2, and are you losing this pawn? And now white has 3 connected passed pawns. Yep, rook d2. Rook takes b5. Looks good to me. Oh, king is chasing the rook. Okay, rook back. Again, now you probably take, right? Yep, rook takes b5. Now white has the advantage. But both players low time. h5. Rook check forces the king back or to block with the rook, but I don't think you want to trade down here. I don't know. The king is here to block all the pawns, but king steps back. h4. Saving the h pawn for when you play g3. So there's no knight takes. Knight back. I'm thinking could maybe bring this knight in. Or maybe we push our pawn. Or this pawn. Probably you want to push the outside pawn, right? Farthest from the king. Rook back. So very passive from white. Now the knight's coming in. Maybe we pen the knight. No, just rook here. Attacking b2, b3, preparing a4. Save the knight or the rook. Here. Just up one. a4 now. Knight back. Yeah, I think the knight doesn't have a lot of... Okay, well, that's a threat. King up. So what is going on? 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Make a move. 3, 2. Oh, he just gives up the pawn there. He couldn't take it back. So now black getting the time pressure. 1 second, 2 seconds. Oh, check. King moves. Push the pawn. Oh my goodness. Knight block. Rook here. No, these pawns are gonna roll. Yeah, that g4 move for white, unfortunately, just not the move he needed at that time. Yeah, he's gonna lose this one. So there's gonna be a queen on the board. That is unfortunate. Rook takes, but too little too late. Just, yeah, the knight's hanging. Queen check. Yeah. Kyle, unfortunately, under time pressure. Good news for UC San Diego, though. Getting a much-needed point on this fourth board. Yeah. Yep, there's going to be 2 queens now. So, unfortunate. Unfortunate. All right, so that is first game under the books. Here we got Hiron versus Chess Panda. Black has mate. Oh, Chess Panda gets a win. Okay. All right, so there's 2 games left. UC San Diego now taking the lead. 1.5 and Chess Panda 3 out of 4. Very strong showing from Brian Sheldon. This is UCLA's top board against UC. No, not the top board. These are the board 2s going at it. And looks like Chess Elephant is up a pawn. So let's look at the other board. There's not a lot of time for Gabe. Looks like Gabe is up some material. So black is up a pawn, and it's a pass pawn, but this knight is kind of pinned. Okay, so attacking both bishops. So you can give this up for this. Only 6 seconds, though. 14 seconds for Richard, the top board from San Diego. He saves the bishop with a check. He takes the pawn, takes the knight. Rook in now. King over. Bishop here attacking the pawn. Very active rook. Very active pieces. Trading here, pushing the pawn. The threat is check. The threat is just rook here. So the king's coming here, though. So king up, king here. King takes, pawn. Takes here first. Very smart. King up now. Rook over, threatening the check. King takes now. Yep. So, taking that pawn. This should be a win for black. King over. He's going to try to chase this down. You're going to get a passed pawn, and then your king's going to take these pawns. This should be just completely winning for black. Yep, so Gabe gets a point. So now it all comes down to the last game. Gabe goes flawless today, 4 for 4. Both teams tied at 7.5. This is going to be the game winner. Chess Elephant up a queen here. Oh, man. UC San Diego needed a draw to force overtime. Couldn't get it done. So UCLA's top 2 boards getting the job done. 4 points for Gabe, 3 for Daniel. That's going to secure the match. This is very close. 8.5 to 7.5. Oh, my goodness. So every half point even in this match counted. Oh, crazy close. Crazy close match. So yeah, awesome match between these 2 teams.